So get this. What if the most important job in all of sports was also the biggest, most confusing question mark in this year's NFL draft? Well, that's exactly what we're looking at. We're about to break down a draft class that is just absolutely defined by a stunning collapse at the top, one undeniable superstar, and a total tidal wave of talent at other spots that's going to reshape the league. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're starting with the big mystery, the quarterbacks. Then we'll get to the one sure thing, the guy who stands all alone at the top. After that, we'll dive into the absolute revolution happening at wide receiver, and then check out this new breed of defensive game changers. And we're going to wrap it all up by putting two teams squarely under the microscope. Franchises where this draft isn't just important, it is everything. You know, every single year, the conversation, the hype, it all starts with the quarterbacks. They're the engines of the NFL, right? But this year, man, it's just different. The story isn't about some deep, crazy, talented class. No, it's about a historic level of hype that just vanished. And that's creating a ripple effect that's going to touch every single team picking in the first round. I mean, just rewind a few months. The buzz was deafening. People were talking about this being an all-time great quarterback class, maybe even rivaling the legendary group from '83. 6, maybe 7 guys were being talked about as first-round locks. So, what on earth happened? How did that incredible hype train go completely off the rails?
Well, the hard truth is the talent just didn't develop the way everyone thought it would. Arch Manning, with that legendary name, decided, you know what? I need more time, and went back to Texas. Drew Aller and Cade Klubnik, 2 guys with all the physical tools you could ever want, they just really struggled with consistency when the lights got bright. And Dante Moore, who showed some incredible flashes, he's heading back to Oregon too. The bottom line? The legendary class just never materialized.
But here's the fascinating twist in all this. In a year completely defined by quarterback chaos and uncertainty, one player didn't just meet the hype, he blew right past it. There is one quarterback who is so good, so polished, so clearly the best player that he's in a class all by himself.
So, let me introduce you to Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana. He is the hero of this story. He's not just the likely number 1 pick, he is the consensus, undisputed, lock of the century number 1 pick. The Las Vegas Raiders have that pick, and I'm telling you, they've probably already got his jersey printed and ready to go.
So what really separates him from everyone else? It kind of starts with a number that just jumps off the page at you. 41. That's how many touchdowns he threw last season. In a class where other top guys were struggling to even hit 25, that number alone tells you he was playing a completely different sport. But honestly, that's not even the most impressive part.
Because it's not just about the raw numbers, it's about the surgical precision. The guy completed over 70% of his passes. In the playoffs, against the best of the best, he was absolutely flawless. 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He never had a bad game. He won the Heisman. He won a national championship. This isn't just a guy who fills up a stat sheet. This is a born winner.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Matt Miller from ESPN just put it perfectly by comparing him to Joe Burrow. That's the tier we're talking about here. A franchise-altering talent who combines elite production with this unshakable calm that you just can't teach.
But, and this is a huge but, even a prospect this great can't do it all by himself. The second he gets to Vegas, he is facing a massive challenge. The Raiders' offensive line was a mess last year. They couldn't run the ball to save their lives, and their quarterbacks were constantly running for their lives. If they don't fix that protection, it's not going to matter how great Mendoza is.
Now, the good news for the Raiders, and frankly for any team that needs some offensive juice, is that what this draft lacks in quarterback depth, it more than makes up for it with an absolutely loaded class of wide receivers. And I don't mean it's just a good group. This is a potential revolution at the position.
I mean, just look at the sheer volume of elite talent here. According to Mel Kiper Jr., there are 11 wideouts ranked in the top 50. That is an insane number. It means you can find a legit day 1 starter deep into the second round. This kind of depth is going to change offenses all across the league.
And who's leading this incredible class? You got to keep your eyes on 2 completely different kinds of weapons. You've got Carnell Tate from Ohio State. He's your classic big-bodied receiver who can win any jump ball. Then you have My Lemon from USC, a dynamic speedster who can just absolutely fly and take the top off any defense. And these guys are just the tip of the iceberg.
But hey, this draft isn't all about offense. On the other side of the ball, a new philosophy is really taking over, and this class is packed with the exact kind of players you need to run a modern NFL defense.
Forget about old school, one-position guys. The future is all about versatility. The buzzword you're going to hear over and over on draft night is multi-tool. So what does that actually mean? Well, think of it like a defensive Swiss Army knife. It's a player who can line up on the edge and rush the quarterback on first down, then drop back and cover a tight end on second down, and then play deep safety on third. They are a defensive coordinator's dream because they create absolute chaos.
And this draft is just brimming with them. Ohio State has two of the best in the country with Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs. Miami's got its own terrifying duo in Ruben Bain Jr. and Hakeem Azador. These guys aren't just defenders, they're the kind of versatile chess pieces you build a championship defense around.
And Field Yates from ESPN called Caleb Downs the safest player in the entire draft. This quote right here perfectly illustrates why. He has the speed and coverage skills of a top-tier safety, but the physicality to come down and hit you like a linebacker. He is a truly can't-miss prospect.
So, you've got one superstar quarterback, you've got a treasure trove of talent at wide receiver and on defense. This whole dynamic, it creates an incredibly high-pressure situation for the teams picking at the top. For a few franchises, this isn't just another draft night. It is a moment that could define their entire decade.
All right, let's focus on two teams in particular. They're in completely different situations, but they're both facing a truly make-or-break moment. We're talking about the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. For them, the pressure is just about unbearable.
First up, let's head to New York. The Giants are picking at number 5, and the whole organization is just sitting in a pressure cooker. They've got a brand new Super Bowl winning coach they are paying a fortune to, and a general manager whose seat is getting hotter by the second. They absolutely cannot afford to miss with this pick.
I mean, just look at the stakes here. John Harbaugh was brought in to win, and to win now. He's not here for some 3-year rebuild. That means GM Joe Shane has to find a player at pick 5 who can walk right in and be an immediate blue-chip difference maker. With Philly and Dallas only getting stronger, another mediocre season is just not an option in New York.
And then you've got the Arizona Cardinals. They are in a totally different spot, but the pressure is just as high. They aren't trying to add the final piece to the puzzle, they're trying to figure out if they even have the right puzzle box. This is a franchise at a total crossroads.
Think about the massive questions they're staring down. Is Kyler Murray their long-term guy at quarterback? What do you do about Marvin Harrison Jr., a player who was supposed to be a generational superstar but hasn't really lived up to the hype? For GM Monty Ossenfort, this draft is about deciding whether to build around those guys one more time or to just hit the big red reset button and start completely over.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question of this draft. What's the bigger risk? Is it taking a chance on finding the next great quarterback in a weak class? Or is it using your high picks to finally surround the quarterback you already have with elite talent? That is the billion-dollar gamble teams are facing, and the answers they come up with will shape the future of the entire NFL.